I like the way in which our series of videos are generating fresh new questions, and each subsequent video is dovetailing with the previous one in a very meaningful kind of way. So what typically happens when you want to make a choice which is out of the ordinary is that your thinking is different and their thinking is highly programmed to the normative kind of situation. So when the question is, how do I help my family and close people continue to accept me and also accept the tough choices I'm making in my life? Help them move from the state of very apprehensive perception of your decision, from foundations of anxiety, from foundations of negativity, from foundations of resistance, to slowly and gently into, even if it's a reluctant acknowledgement and acceptance of you and your decision, with deep affection and maybe some prayer. I think that is the shift. Can you help them to move from being rooted in anxiety, unknown fears, and deep concerns, which is making them say no, no, to maybe even reluctantly saying, maybe I should try to support and I'll pray even if I'm not too sure about it, or I will hope and I'll wish because I continue to love this person. If you can help that shift first, I think that is a first very positive transition. So what happens to help in this transaction? What happens for you to help them move from this concern and anxiety based point of view into even a reluctant acceptance of your point of view, and to be even tentatively supporting what you're doing? First and foremost thing, don't create any preconditions. The moment we create preconditions, like saying either 100% or nothing, or my way or highway, you're not even allowing the transition. You're clearly saying, let's cut this into two, either a yes or a no. And please remember, the beauty about being human and the beauty of subjective reality is life is never either or. Life is sometimes either, sometimes or, sometimes both, sometimes much more. That's the beauty about it. So first, remember that when you are transacting with them and helping them to transition from anxiety into acceptance, you should be having my way or highway point of view. So what should you be doing actually would be to become what I call as a gentle and facilitative influencer of thinking. Now, this is one of the very important things for us to understand about any role in our life. Be it our personal roles or be it our professional roles or societal roles, there is one common thing expected of all our roles in life, and that is to be an impactor and influencer on all those other roles which are connected, which we call as relationships. And that impact and influence hopefully would be positive, because you want the journey of life to be positive. So that is the base idea to which I'm bringing you back when you want to create convictions about some of the very different and tough decisions or choices you're making need to become acceptable to the others. So from that influencing point of view, you need to probably start looking at how differently can I now communicate? How gently can I put the narrative to them so that, one, they are able to look at it not as a threatening narrative, not as a shocking narrative, but probably coming in as a narrative from a deep conviction, or a narrative which is coming with a sense of appeal, a narrative which is coming with a deep desire to create awareness and acceptance. An appeal that is coming to me where I can look at the person, believing that I make a difference to that person's life, and even though I'm not intellectually comprehending completely what and why that person is taking that call or decision, he believes that I'm important in that person's life. Can you give this sense of worthiness to that person? So, when you adapt your influencing style in this difficult situation a little differently, and then choose to engage with the close relationships or those particular people, and work on creating, number one, from the state of apprehension and anxiety, for them to come to some level of listening to you, withholding their judgment, willing to hear out what you have to say, willing to look at what are the triggers of your motivation, their willingness to hear you out about why do you believe that this is going to make something very meaningful to your life. And all of this, not either from a preaching point of view, not from a compulsive point of view, not from a demanding point of view, but from an appealing point of view. I think that is the difference in the communication of this particular influencing type. Can it be an engaging appeal to people? If that communication can take place, good chances are that from the initial complete blockade of the thought and idea, there can at least be an opening up and looking at, all right, let me give this a hearing. Let me look at this. Let me even try to understand this. So there is that softening of the ground that takes place. And from the hard ground, when it becomes a softening ground, then there is time for you and opportunity for you to dig a little deeper and to plant the seed of your idea. All right? So let go of this tendency to be looking at life as a debating society and looking at people and saying, my way or highway. Look at life as a beautiful journey where you got to carry people with you. That's what they say, right? And what is this carrying people with you? Caring enough to deeply engage with them rather than winning your debating points. All right? So we'll dive deep into some interesting example and further clarification in the next video. Good luck to you. All the very best.